fine.
Good.
I know what Bananarama is.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. This will be a meeting of the regular session of the Mayor and Council, City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, State of Arizona. This is being held on Tuesday, August 2nd at 7 p.m. at our council chambers. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Juanetta Hill.
Present.
Councilmember Joni Giacomino.
Here.
Councilmember Frank Davis.
Here.
Mayor Ken Budge.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Mel Saweed.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein is not here yet. City staff Stephen Pocken, City Manager Ashley Coronado, City Clerk Carrie Bagley, Finance Director Joelle Landers, Personnel Director Matthew Gurney, Public Works Director Jim Richardson, Fire Chief Tim Cox, Police Sergeant Joe Estes, City Attorney.
Thank you. Everybody that's watching online or that are here tonight. Start for a moment of silence. I've been watching those major fires in California up on the Oregon border. They're now four dead up there. And of course the flooding that's happening in Kentucky, where there's 30 plus that have lost their lives. So this gives a moment of thought about that, and I'm going to have a little proclamation here. I'm going to talk about something on that order once we get there. But let's give a moment of silence for all those people that are suffering. Thank you. Thank you. Let's do the president.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have no proclamations tonight, but I did want to make a couple of quick announcements. One of which I'm very proud that our grant writer and our fire department put in for a grant, and we got $52,000 for a lot of good equipment that our firefighters need. A lot of protective equipment and also a bunch of new hose and nozzles that will help us out. So that's our first part of our grants that we've been putting in for, and hopefully we'll get more shortly. I also wanted just to say something. I mean, I know climate change, but anybody that doesn't believe it has got to be have their head in the sand as far as I'm concerned. But so I joined a letter today that was sent to all of our congressional delegation from Arizona. I've joined 9 other mayors across Arizona to ask that they pass. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, but it's really more about climate and climate investment to deal with our climate. So I'm joining with the mayors from Phoenix and Tucson and Tempe and Fountain Hills and Flagstaff and Sedona and Scottsdale and Mesa to ask them to please pass this to help us out in our climate and all the other things that this may provide. So I just thought I'd let everybody know that I did that, and we now can move forward from that. No one signed up for call of the public, so we'll move on to general business. First, general business is an accounts payable, subject to funds. I make a motion that we approve accounts payable in the amount of $323,677.17.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Questions?
I just have a couple,
Okay.
on page 2, let me just go back to this. Just 1 second. Sorry, I was just going through this. It's for Finance Department, Contract Services, Peregrine Corporation, Utility Billing, 115448. Yeah. Steve is ready.
Since there's such a large public here tonight. Take this one. Should work.
Maybe it's dead. Might be out of batteries.
So we outsourced our utility billing to a company. We used to print them in-house and mail them. So we now have a company that prints and mails them for us. It actually saves us about $6 a month.
It saved you $6?
It saves about $6 a month. So, I mean, if you count labor and you bill with the paper and print, the ink, the mail, all of that, it's about $750 a month to mail them. And then, of course, all the paper stock and everything, which we haven't even been able to get paper stock in several months from the person that we were ordering.
So is this the first year you've had this?
No,
You've had those?
well, the first, we started in March or
Okay,
April,
so it's
something.
this year. Okay, and that saves you. Basically, you guys used to do this, so having someone else do it, but it's saving you money?
Couple
Okay,
of,
even though-
it's not a lot, but it saves us a headache too, so.
Oh, okay.
Cup of coffee.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another one?
I think this was approved last week, but I want to ask about it. The page 10, Bisbee Festival of the Art for Equipment, is this $6,747.89? I just want to know, was this budgeted? Where did this come up?
This is part of the Bisbee Arts Commission Festival that they're planning.
Yeah.
And yes, it was budgeted for. And we also, they received a grant from ARPA funds as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just, I knew you guys talked about it last week. Okay. That's all I have today.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none. Have a motion and a second to approve accounts payable subject to payable funds for $323,677.17. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hill, Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Haven't said 7.
Been a while.
This is great. All right, moving on, this will be item number 2. This is approval of the consent agenda. We have 4 items on tonight. 2 of them are approval of minutes for July 19th and for the special session and the regular session. And we have 1 appointment to the Bisbee Arts Commission and 1 resignation from the Evergreen Cemetery. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda, items A through D.
You know, I should ask if anybody want anything pulled for it first. Is there anything here?
I'd like E pulled, I have some questions.
D?
E as an elephant.
There's no need.
Oh, wait, never mind, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, boy, you got any ideas?
We don't have
You know,
to-
sorry.
Who put that in?
Oops, wrong one.
All right. Anybody else wants anything A through D pulled? Okay. We have a motion. I'll make a second to approve items A through D of the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Consent agenda is approved as agenda set. Under old business, we had a table item on a sweeper, possibly street sweeper. At this time, I'm recommending there's no action on this, and unless there's some objection from the council, we'll just move on to item 4, but we'll take no action on it at this point. We'll just fall away until such point it may come back, who knows. Any objection? No objection, we will take no action on item 3 and move on to item 4. Item 4 is a discussion of possible approval to acknowledge the withdrawal of a bid for the property located at 75C O'Kay Street. They've put in their bid but now have withdrawn. Who wants to just basically pretty simple, like Ashley.
We'll get the posting ready to go back out to bid. We've already had, I want to say 3 or 4 other individuals call and are interested in placing a bid. So hopefully we'll receive something soon.
So this is kind of another no action. Do we have to make a motion to accept the withdrawal?
You can if it makes it easy, just a motion to accept the withdrawal and to rebid the
Okay.
property.
I make a motion that we accept the withdrawal of the bid, the property located at 75 COK Street, and also accept new bids.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. Moving on to new business. New business is a discussion and possible approval of a grant application for the City Hall solar project. This is City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. This is a grant that the city is applying for that will essentially put a solar power system on the new City Hall building when built. We've been, and just so everybody knows, Local First Arizona has been promoting their grant writing services now for about a year. We decided to take advantage of those services for this application. And I have to say it was a pretty positive experience, and we'll use them again. Part of the grant application requires that there's some proof that there's support from the local government. Therefore, this agenda item tonight. What we have done is we have supplied you with information that was asked from us that was actually part of the application. You'll notice that it's not a horribly artful method, but this is the USDA way. And basically, they ask me for information, and Gary gives it to them. And we keep going back and forth until they're satisfied that they have enough information to consider the grant. Now, the numbers don't quite match on this. Again, this is a function of the grant process. We had Albert Hopper design a system for us, including structure and everything else. And it's a pretty recent price, but who knows with today's prices. It could be around $300,000. So that was the baseline number that we gave to the grant writer for USDA. They put together a grant application that shows $225,000 from USDA and $225,000 from the local government. The City Hall project cost itself is the match. So there's no cash match involved here. And we'll see when we get to the bidding phase where we are with the $30,000 that we estimate the cost is going to be. So what this will do is it will put basically solar panels behind the building on a structure for covered parking. And it will also provide us with backup batteries so that we can actually store power. And so we will be storing power rather than sending it all back to the grid. That way we can actually have more power available during the day than we would have if we didn't have a backup battery system. So if towards the end of the day, the system isn't generating enough to supply the building, a backup battery system will provide that additional power for us. So at this point, I've been back and forth now for several months on this application with USDA. Feel pretty confident that it's going to be awarded. The actual grant applications allow you $75,000 for these grants. And at first I was advised that I could apply for $75,000 for this fiscal year and $75,000 for the next fiscal year to a total of $150,000. But the district manager from the USDA decided to send this one to the USDA directly in Washington so that we could hopefully get the larger amount. So that's what we're waiting for at this point. The only thing left that we need to supply them is minutes from this meeting that hopefully, given your approval, will show support. So staff recommends approval of a motion to do this grant.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
Question?
Sure.
We're applying for this, so in case, and this will be depending on the construction of the building.
Yes, but we should have, usually with these grants, we usually get a couple of years to spend money.
Okay.
And given, and I know you and I had this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
We feel pretty confident that there's going to be a point in time before the end of 2022 when the economy will give us the ability to go back out for bids and hopefully get a bid that's within our budget.
So we'll have the 2 years. Is there no ramification or cost associated with this?
That's
That we-
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's good. All right.
Any other questions?
No, I just say I think it's a great thing to do, be self-sufficient in energy. It's the direction we gotta go.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Just as an added note, it's not on the agenda, but we're looking at trying to put something out at the senior center too, right?
Yes, we're working, now that's a different grant process.
I know, this is outside of the scope, but I just thought.
But it is a different process.
No,
So
just-
more on that later.
Yeah. But when we talk about the way to go, that's the way to go. So we're working on multiple fronts. Any other questions, comments? All right, can I have a motion?
I move to approve an application to USDA Rural Development Fund to a solar power system for Bisbee City Hall.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the grant application for a city hall, solar.
Yeah,
One more time.
Gotta find a different way to say that.
I know. Anyway, let's take a roll call, thanks.
Councilmember Hill, Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye, motion passes 7-0, so moved. Moving on, this will be item number 6. This will be a discussion and possible approval, an independent contractor agreement for the sound technician for the Bisbee Arts Festival in the amount of $1,000 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund. We have about 4 of these coming up, so I'm just gonna turn each one over to Ashley and just if there's, and open it up if there's any questions. These are all approval to spend some money to put on this art festival.
Their art festival, yes. So this will be the sound person for the performers that they have both on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, questions, comments? Seeing none? I need a motion. I move to approve independent contractor agreement for the sound technician for the Bisbee Arts Festival in the amount of $1,000 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for item 6. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. The next one will be, zoom down, item 7. This will be another discussion of possible approval of an independent contractor. These are several agreements for the Bisbee Arts Festival musicians for opening on Friday, October 21st, 2022. And this is an amount of $300 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund. Any comments on this one?
I got, this is their money, right? The arts money?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's not like it's coming out of any general fund?
Correct.
Okay. Right, money they raise, so yeah.
Their line item balance right now is 33,000. When all this gets done, they'll still have about 30,000 in their line.
Okay.
Just so people understand that.
Yeah, this is not, this is their thing that we are happy to. Because they're part of the city, it has to go through our procedures and finance and so on. So that's what this takes. So they're just doing it on their own. Any other comments? Somebody want to make a motion on this one?
I move to approve an independent contractor agreement for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts and Musicians for opening on Friday, October 21st, 2022, in the amount of $300 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for item 7, which will be the independent contract agreements for some musicians for the Arts Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. Item number 8, this will be a discussion and possible approval for some more independent contractor agreements for the Bisbee Arts Festival musicians. This would be for the Saturday, not the Friday. This will be in the amount of $1,500 from their own fund. Any other comments? Do I have a motion?
I move to approve an independent contractor agreement for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts and Musicians on Saturday, October 22nd, 2022, in the amount of $1,500 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund.
I second.
We're doing good tonight.
Let's agree on one person seconding.
We have a motion and a second to approve $1,500 from the Arts Commission Fund for musicians on Saturday. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. Moving on, move down to number 9. This will be discussion and possible approval for some more independent contracting agreements for the Bisbee Arts Festival Arts musicians on Sunday, the 23rd, in the amount of $1,500. This will be, again, same thing, just a different day. Any comments, suggestions, questions? One more motion, please.
I move to approve an independent contractor agreement for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts and Musicians on Sunday, October 23rd, 2022, in the amount of $1,500 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for item 9, approving $1,500 from the Art Commission Fund for musicians on Sunday, October 23rd. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. And one more, this is item 10. This is a discussion and possible approval of an independent contractor agreement with REI LLC for the Bisbee Arts Festival in the amount of $1,200 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund. This $1,200 will be,
They're doing aerial acts. They bring in their own equipment, they bring in everything, and they're going to be performing aerial acts throughout the weekend.
okay. Let's want to make sure it isn't a drone.
It
No.
sounds scary. I think this will.
All right. I need a motion for item number 10.
I move to approve an independent contractor agreement with ARI LLC for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts in the amount of $1,200 from the Bisbee Arts Commission Fund. Second.
I have a motion and a second for item 10, approving a contract for $1,200 from the Arts Commission Fund for Ariel LLC. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so moved. And we're getting there on the witching hour of 7:30, so it's your turn now, City Manager. Item number 11, report.
We will adjourn by 7:30. One item tonight, just wanted to update you on the garbage truck situation. We have possession of both trucks. Today, both trucks were on the street picking up garbage. And so there's that. Good news. We also, this morning, Matt and Logan and Mr. Estes and I met with the vendor for the garbage trucks, and we went over a very, very long list of deficiencies that we feel have taken place since we took delivery on those trucks, and made it extremely clear to them that we were done. We're done screwing around with this. And of course, they had not quite as long a list as mine of things that they think that we're doing wrong, which we are. And It was interesting to watch two guys who claim to have worked in local government before they went into selling trucks, squirm in their seats as we told them some of the feedback that we were getting from our bosses in terms of how they feel about the quality and the service on vehicles that they sold us. So we arrived at a point where they did give Matt some information that we haven't had before, that was sitting in their truck out in the parking lot, regarding doing morning checks and evening checks on the trucks. They are going to extend the body warranty. When I say the body, I'm talking about the Heil Packer unit, the part that carries the garbage and packs it. We actually have lost several months of use of those trucks, so they're going to extend the warranty to make up the difference for the amount of time lost that those trucks have been under warranty and actually sitting in a shop somewhere, rather than picking up garbage. And we will also be going back, and the warranty claim for the drive shaft was rejected by Autocar. We feel that they did it wrong. I think our vendors think that they did it wrong. We're going to file another claim with them for the driveline warranty on that particular truck. Anybody listening to this conversation or living in America who thinks a drive shaft should fail after 800 engine hours, please call me. I'm guessing my line will be pretty dead tomorrow. Drive shafts just don't break on brand new vehicles. And the staff has done nothing to abuse that thing to the point where it would fail. So we're very adamant about that, and we were also very adamant about their ability to provide service as the local dealer for these vehicles, to the extent that they did make representations to Matt this morning that the level of service, not just at their site, but here in Bisbee where the trucks are, would improve starting meeting. So we ended the meeting on a friendly note, and we did it in such a way that I told them I would believe everything I say once we've had some time with these vehicles and saw how much their service improves, so that me and I think all of us could regain our confidence in what should be some very good trucks. So with that, Mayor, unless there's any questions, that concludes my report.
Anything else from the council? Then I'll take a motion to.
I would make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none. The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.